Good afternoon. Thank you. My name's Dennis Smith. I'm the president of the Warren County War Memorial. We're celebrating our 20th year this year. If you see there, it says 1998. So it's a milestone for us. I think this is our 13th, 15th. Okay, thank you. 15th public recognition of our veterans with the Distinguished Service Medal, thanks to our freeholder boards, present and past, that have worked with us to bring this to Warren County. It's a great thing. I'd like to thank everybody for showing up today.
My name is Wayne Golden. I was a Corporal of Marines, served in Iraq, did 2 tours, infantry unit, small craft company, and then 1-9, The Walking Dead. I'm here today at the Warren County Memorial to receive a Warren County Award. It looks like it's going to be a wonderful day. We got beautiful weather. I look forward to the ceremony. Thank you everyone that showed up, and Semper Fi.
And with that, I'd like to call up the Boy Scouts from Troop 146 to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hi, my name is Alfred Bates. Served with the United States Army 101st Airborne Division. Tour of duty October 67, 68. My job was radio operator and light weapons. I'm just very thankful for that. I'm here today to attend this wonderful ceremony, and I'm really proud to be here. Great, thank you.
Faith Dean will now sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Very nicely done. You can be seated.
I'm Jonathan Rush. I served in the U.S. Air Force.
They gave.
I was stationed at Utapao, Thailand. I was a B-52 engine crew chief. My rank was sergeant, and we had to recondition worn and battle-damaged B-52 engines. And I'm happy to be here today. I'm very honored. Thank you.
I'd like to now call Rich Larson, a member of the Warren County War Memorial Corporation, for the invocation.
Dear God, we ask for your blessing on this ceremony, our awardees and all who are gathered with us today. We pray that you will fill each of us with satisfaction at the great work they have done while serving their country. We especially pray for those who are deployed away from home. Keep us all and those we love safe and strong. Grant us success in every good endeavor as we serve our community, our nation, and our world. Be with us this hour and every hour, I pray. Amen.
Every time we have this program, we reach out to the freeholders to give them a couple of dates or whatever, and they're always give us the date we need, and they're always here. I'd like to introduce Freeholder Director Edward J. Smith to come up and say a few words.
First, I want to just do a housekeeping note. Senator Doherty contacted me this morning, and he consistently attends this event, but he had some family issues to attend to, so he wished that I extend his good wishes to all of you, especially today's award recipients. Starting in 2003, Warren County has paused to recognize our veterans and to honor them for their sacrifices in the defense of our country. My congratulations to today's honorees and the many other honored vets who have received awards in past years. This November, we will commemorate the 100th anniversary of the armistice that ended the Great War. It was named the War to End All Wars. Our first honoree in 2003 was James Household, a 108-year-old veteran from the First World War. World War I was the precursor to the horrors of the mechanized warfare of the 20th century. It was the proving ground for new tools of horror: the machine gun, the tank, the aircraft with its fighters and bombers, yielding bloodshed from the air. The United States fought from April 1917 until November 1918. And in just over 1 year and a half, there were 320,000 casualties, 116,516 deaths, of which 53,402 were on the battlefield. 3,400 of the dead were from New Jersey, 69 were from Warren County, and their names are inscribed on the plaque behind me. We recognize another World War I veteran today from Warren County when the descendants of Julius Niken accept the Warren County's Distinguished Service Medal today. For those vets here with us today, having served in wars after the war to end all wars, you experienced further refinement of the tools of warfare. The instruments of depth that were developed were made to be faster, bigger, more deadly, and more efficient. Your courage in the face of the dangers before you, for the benefit of all of us who live in our great nation, our state, and our county, is hereby recognized today. Congratulations, and thank you for your service.
Thank you, Ed. I'd like to now call on Jason Sarnowski, freeholder.
Thanks, Dennis. Thank you, everyone. Well, good afternoon. Welcome on this beautiful May day. For a while there, this year, I thought we were going to have to get our snow shovels out to have this event. But the sun's come out and the snow's cleared. And I got to say, even if we had to get the snow shovels out, the War Memorial Corporation, who does a wonderful job, led by Dennis Smith, I'd like you all to give them a big round of applause because they do an absolutely fantastic job maintaining this whole site. I mean, it is gorgeous here. And it looks even more beautiful now with the weather changing. This isn't our largest group that we've ever honored, but it isn't our smallest either. And as long as there's one veteran in Warren County who needs to be honored and has not yet been honored by Warren County, we're going to continue to have this event because you've given up, the veterans of Warren County have given up a little bit of their freedom over their lives to protect ours and to protect the values that we hold so dear in this country. And so we need to give up our time to honor you for that and thank you. So that's why we're here, and I want to thank you all and wish you the best day you can possibly have. Thanks.
Last but not least, Mr. Richard Gardner, freeholder. He's our liaison in the veterans end of it, so he does a great job for us.
Thank you, Dennis. And first of all, thank you to the veterans and their families who also sacrifice. Now, as was indicated, this is our 15th ceremony, and Freeholder Director Smith had mentioned a joyous household, World War I and World War II vet. I had the privilege and honor to bestow our recognition, our pin to him on the day he turned 108. That's something I'll never forget. And, you know, as we think about all the wars in the past and how many lives have been lost, and those veterans, those warriors did it for their country, they did it for their family, they did it for peace, ultimately. Today, as Freeholder Smith indicated, we have new technology and weaponry. And I think our real challenge and our obligation to society is to work through diplomacy, and so that veterans did not die in vain. They worked for peace, they worked for democracy around the world. And it has to be that, and hopefully with our president, whether right or wrong, he sits down with this leader of North Korea, we can make good things happen for peace around the world. And that's really what we all want to have, particularly for our great young children coming up. So I'm so pleased to be here. I had a friend yesterday, he said, hey, do you realize it's going to shower tomorrow? I said, no, not at 11 o'clock, it's not. So thank you, and congratulations to all the veterans.
I'd like to now call on Assemblyman John DeMeo of the 23rd Legislative District to say a few words.
John, thanks for coming on. Good. All right. I was here for the first one, and I believe I've been here at most of them, if not all of them. It's my honor to be here. You know, for folks like me who happen to have a voice at whatever level we serve at, that voice is not from me. It's from what you have done for us to allow us to have that voice. To be here today and just say thank you is probably the most honoring to me. It's a great honor to be here to do that. Judge Quill, good to see you here too. Former county counsel, served us in Vietnam. I've known him a long time. I'm glad you're here front and center, sir. Good to see you. But every day in America, people get up and they go about their business. We have freedom. They choose what they want to choose. They have the greatest freedoms in the world. And again, that's all because of you wonderful folks who have served in however the ways or where you served. Hopefully there'll come a day where there's peace on earth and we don't have to send our young folks anywhere to fight in wars. That's really the ultimate goal. It is encouraging, as Freeholder Gardner said, that North Korea and South Korea are talking. Our president's going to meet with the North Korean leader. If peace happens, only good will result from it. So again, congratulations to each and every one of you on this well-deserved recognition. We just want to say thank you.
Next is Assemblyman Eric Peterson from the 23rd Legislative District. Just came in his helicopter.
Actually, I'll admit to my goof. I had it in my head that we were down at the 9/11 Memorial in Washington, or Franklin Township, I guess, over by the community college. So I went to the wrong place, hence I'm late. Of course, John will tell you that I'm always late for just about everything. I hope that he's right, and then I'm late for my funeral. I just wanted to be here today to congratulate all the recipients today and to thank you for your service to our country. I was thinking on the way here, as Memorial Day comes up, we're often told that we should look to the future and not look back. But I think that there are times that we need to look back, especially when it comes to whether to go into armed conflict or war. We should look back and see what happened in other conflicts that we entered into, and to make sure that we learn the lessons from those conflicts before we enter into another one. Because it's going to be young men and women, and just like yourselves when you went into the service, who are going to be in those conflicts. And to me, every human life is valuable, and every American is valuable. And we shouldn't go into war, and we shouldn't go into conflict without contemplation and looking back to make sure it's the right thing to do. Because many of you volunteered, many of you were drafted into the service, and you did it because of a love of country. And we shouldn't take that and use it willy-nilly. We should use it only when absolutely necessary for the protection of our country and our way of life. And that's why you guys signed up. That's why you went into the service. That's why you did it. And I think we should never forget that. And so as we come up on Memorial Day, when we look back, I hope that's one of the things that we think about, so that when we look forward, we make the right decisions. Again, I want to thank you for your service, and I want to congratulate everyone who's being honored today, and wish you the best in the future, and may our country have a bright and prosperous future. Thank you.
We have with us today our state service officer, Sibley Smith. Sibley's a real busy guy, and that's a fact. He is. He's a really busy guy. We share Sibley in Warren County with Hunterdon County, so we only get him 2.5 days a week. And for the multitude of people that have to utilize the services that his office does for us, he's just overwhelmed. And he's here to talk to us. And come on up, Sid.
Yeah, it's a good thing I enjoy my job.
Yes.
And speaking of that, you'll thank me for sticking to script so that I don't end up rambling on forever and a day here. Good morning. It is an honor to have this opportunity today to pay my respects to the veterans of Warren County as part of Warren County's 15th annual Veterans Recognition Program ceremony. My name is Sibley Judson Smith, Jr. I am employed by the State of New Jersey Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, Division of Veterans Services, for whom I am proud to serve as the Veterans Service Officer for Warren County. It is my duty to assist veterans and their family members in obtaining well-deserved benefits and entitlements available through federal, state, and local governments. I get a particular joy out of my successes in such endeavors, not because I'm a veteran myself, because I'm not. You see, while I may hold a couple of college degrees, you veterans all hold a more prestigious certification document, one today we most generally refer to as the DD 214. You once stepped into a world of service, some whether you liked it or not, which very much in part because of your service, I did not have to. But I am part of that service world, as are all family members of those in service to the armed forces of the United States. For you see, I am a military brat. As a junior, I carry the name, and rather literally, on these World War II Navy Department dog tags, of a veteran of the ilk others would refer to as a lifer. Sibley Judson Smith Sr., storekeeper, Chief Petty Officer, United States Navy, retired. He'd also later retire a second time from federal civil service as a computer specialist for the United States Army, which is why I call myself a military brat and not simply a Navy brat, but I will hold that dear to my heart as well. Long and short of all this is, I grew up in a military family, and I know and appreciate what that service has meant to me and my family. Our personal lives have benefited so. And I cannot deny that, in the long run, my dad's service, even if only in a small way, contributed to the world of the United States of America that I feel lucky to be living in today. It is that sense of gratitude to all our veterans that drives me to work as hard as I do to assist them in improving their lives through receiving such benefits they've truly earned. It is my way of saying thank you. And accordingly, as I address all you veterans in this audience and around me at the podium, it is not just lip service, rather it is truly from the heart when I say thank you for your service. May your day today and the days ahead shine for you as wonderfully as the sun shines on us right now. Peace.
Hi, my name is Ernie Chavez. I served in the U.S. Army from 1972 to 1975. I spent some time in Korea and Florida. And I like to say that I was a sergeant at the end. And also, I feel very privileged to be here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you for all your kind words. It's appreciated. On November 11th of 1998, the dedication of the Warren County War Memorial marked the presentation of the memorial to the people of Warren County. The story of the Warren County War Memorial goes back several years as a concept in the mind of who we call our grandfather, godfather, Leo Becker. Leo, right there he is. Back then, Leo was a historian of the Belvedere American Legion Post 131. There had not been a county memorial in Warren County for Warren County's veterans since 1910. When the Civil War Memorial was removed from Garrett Wall Park and replaced by a lighted drinking fountain by the Women's Temperance League. The construction of state and federal monuments and the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Sussex County had generated discussions about a Warren County memorial. In 1996, Becker talked to us, and after a lot of discussions, by June of '97, the War Memorial Committee was formed. Architects Jim and Dorothy Constantin volunteered to work on some of the proposed designs for the memorial. Once designed, Once the design was approved by the committee and the Warren County freeholders gave us permission to build on the county property, the name certification subcommittee set out on a monumental task of searching local, state, and federal records to determine whose names would be inscribed on the monument stones. It had been decided that the names of men and women who died while on active duty in World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, would all be inscribed on the stones since those records were available. As of March 2000, there were the names of 287 men and 2 women inscribed on our stones. To raise the $75,000, the committee members met with municipal governments late in 1997 requesting donations. Other committee members reached out with public sales of hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and pins. Area legislators were approached for assistance, and the New Jersey legislator appropriated $25,000 for our memorial. On September 19, 1998, a groundbreaking ceremony was held at the monument site. 9 black stones were quarried and polished from India. Construction began in October, and committee members worked on weekends, and some members used vacation days to work during the week. The stones arrived in the U.S. approximately 1 week before the dedication. On Veterans Day 1998, hundreds of people gathered right here to witness the unveiling of the monument and to see the names engraved on its stones. In January of 2000, work began to create the Warren County War Memorial Corporation to guarantee the preservation of this memorial. The officers of the corporation were myself as president, Vice President Richard Coughlin, Secretary Millie Rice, Treasurer Frank Binger. Board of Trustee members were Leo Becker, Terry Lee, Ann Stone, Dennis Zander, Jay Richards, plus alternate members Rich Zislog and Jack Reed. On November of 2006, 2 stones were dedicated for Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom with the names of fallen soldiers engraved on them. Presently, the officers, and I'd like to point them out for you. My officers now are me as president yet, Vice President Andy Drysdale. You might remember him as a doughboy. You see him running around town Memorial Day and so forth. Secretary Treasurer Millie Rice, and trustee members Leo Becker, founder and chairman of the Warren County War Memorial, J.C. Richards, Charlie Prestopine, Ernie Meso, Rich Larson, John Hawk, Douglas Grunn, and our newest member, John Coyle Jr. I'd like to give all my people a big hand.
Hi, my name is Mike Fay, U.S. Air Force, 1963 to 1967. I spent a lot of time traveling around. I spent a year in Vietnam, the year of 1966, up at Cameron Bay, Benoit, Thompson. It was all around. We did a lot of convoy escort duty. I was air police when I was in, so we used to do a lot of security work. And very proud of my service, and I'm very proud to be here today for this ceremony. I think it's really important that we recognize our veterans, all our veterans, especially those who haven't made it back. So, I am very proud to be here and honored to be here today. Thank you.
Now comes the time that you've all been waiting for. We're going to play a melody of service songs. When your branch of the service song is played, please stand up and be recognized. Thank you.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli.
Ooh-ah! U.S. Navy.
Farewell to college, joys we sail at break of day, 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 day. To our last night ashore, we cruise along, until we meet once more. Please continue our happy voyage home. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. Then it's high, high, the army's on its way. Come on, your numbers loud and strong. For wherever you go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along. So here's the Coast Guard marching song. We sing on land or sea, through surf and storm and howling gale. I shall our purpose be. Semper is our God, our fame, our glory too. To fight, to save our fight, to die. I post not we are for you.
Hi, my name is Jim Taylor. I'm here representing my father and great uncle, Lawrence Taylor and Herbert Gulick. My great uncle was in the Coast Guard during World War II. My father was career Air Force, spent 20 years in. He spent time in Korea twice, on Okinawa, toured in Germany, and several bases here in the United States. He was in supply chain his full career and retired in 1979. I'd just like to say to all the veterans, active and retired and deceased, thank you very much for your service, and we appreciate everything you've given up for the country. Thank you.
We'll be reading the ones that are here and also the ones that will be receiving theirs in the mail. So this one is Brian W. Ayers, Army, Vietnam. He's receiving his in the mail. Our first, okay, Alfred R. Bates II, Army, Vietnam. Want to cross? Yeah. Keep shaking. There's more things to come. Yeah, go across. You get a medal, a pin, and your certificate. Okay. All right. This one is also his family will be receiving it in the mail. Is Harry C. Beers, deceased, Army, World War II. This one's also receiving by the mail. John Beagle, Army, Vietnam. Our next one, Ernie G. Chavez, Army, Vietnam. This next one is also receiving by mail. Richard Martin Cole, Air Force, Vietnam. John J. Coyle Jr., Army, Vietnam. Our next one receiving, his family will receive it by the mail, is Thomas DeMarco, deceased, Army, World War II. Also his family will receive by mail is Ralph DeMeo, DiMatteo, deceased, Army, Korea. Okay. The next one I'm going to be reading, he's also receiving, will be mailed to his son, is Staff Sergeant William A. Drager, Army Air Corps, World War II. Reported missing in action August 31st, 1944, along with 9 other crew members of the B-24 returning from a bombing mission. 52 years later, the crash site was discovered in southern China. The remains of Staff Sergeant Drager, a Mansfield Township native, were recovered and interred in the family plot in Pleasant Grove Cemetery in Washington Township. He is survived by his wife and a 7-month-old son, and his name is inscribed on the War Memorial here. His medal will be mailed to his son, retired Captain James Drager, U.S. Navy. Our next recipient is Michael Fay, Air Force, Vietnam. Wayne R. Golden, Marine. Operation Iraqi Freedom. You're accepting for, okay, yep. Herbert Edward Gulick, deceased, Coast Guard, World War II, accepted by his great-nephew, James Taylor. Wayne L. Johnson, deceased, Marine, Vietnam, being accepted by his widow, Susan Johnson, and the granddaughter, Alexa. Brian Labar, Army, Vietnam. Yeah, I gotta read these here. Julius Niken, deceased, Army, World War I, being accepted by Judy Lyons, Joyce Kenny, and Amy Niken. Dominic A. Polsinelli, deceased, Army, Korea, being accepted by his widow Betty and son Michael. Jonathan E. Rush, Air Force, Vietnam. Congratulations. Nicholas Signorelli, Army, Korea. And our last recipient today is Lawrence Allen Taylor, Air Force, Vietnam, being accepted by his son, James Taylor. We'd like to have a round of applause for all of our recipients today and our veterans and their families. Thank you.
Just for the heck of it, I know that there's other recipients out there that didn't get it today. Could all of our veterans that received the award please stand up? Whether it's today or... Thank you. Thank you. Gentlemen, you can go sit down, relax. Your job's done.
My name is Nicholas Salvatore Signorelli. I served with the 82nd Airborne Division during the Korean War. I was with the 376th Airborne Field Artillery Battalion with 105 howitzers, and we dropped the 105 howitzers in Korea. And I was happy to serve, and also I thank Warren County for recognizing all veterans, war veterans, and ordinary veterans. And I appreciate everything that they're doing for us, and thank you kindly, and have a nice day.
All right, I'd like to thank a few people here before I let you go to go out golf, whatever you're going to do this afternoon.
Have a donut on the way out.
Yes, there is donuts over there. Art says he can't eat them all, so give him a hand. Anyway, I'd like to thank Art Charlton, director of the Warren County Public Information Department, him and Holly, his secretary, who puts all the paperwork together for this program. Brittany helped. She took off, though. She was going golfing, I think. But anyway, Holly is the assistant or deputy director. Anyway, they do a great job. Let's give them a big hand. And I'd like to thank the additional help that we get that's not county related or War Memorial related. It's the boys from Boy Scout Troop 146 from White Township. These guys always help us, always. Doug Freiberg, back there, he supplies the he supplies our equipment here to be able for you people to hear us. Flowerland Growers, ever since they've been in business, they've donated flowers to make the War Memorial a little bit nicer. And Norma Wenzel. Norma's the lady that back 20 years ago, we asked for people to submit renderings of what the medal should look like. She was the person that we chose to use her design on our medals. So her name was Norma Wenzel. I'd like to thank you all for coming today. Drive safe. Good afternoon. What? Oh. And remember that it can be posthumously, right? posthumously. Anyway, yeah, if you had a great-grandfather, grandmother, whatever. My dad just passed, and he was in the first round, but he didn't want to do it. He's a World War II vet. And I told him, why don't you do it? He says, well, what do I need with another medal? I said, well, just get it, put it in a box, and maybe 80 years from now, somebody's going to open it up and see it. So he got one. So thanks for coming, folks. God bless. Oh, this is our 20th anniversary, Veterans Day. This year, we're going to have a program here at the Warren County War Memorial. 1 o'clock. Stop back and see us.